Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, Scroft here, and in this video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to do a bit of a behind the scenes of the farmhand. Now, if you are worried about kind of like maybe ruining the immersion of the story and all that stuff, this probably isn't the video for you. But I have planned on doing this for some time, just trying to give it people a bit of, you know, behind the scenes and what it looks like just normally in game, because obviously it is just a save game and I'm just playing, and obviously it's very story driven, very character driven, but I thought I'd just showcase a little bit of what's going on, how I've set things up. This is prior to me recording 186, so episode 186 is actually going to come out whilst I'm at FarmCon. So yeah, I just thought I'd do kind of like two sections to it. One when I'm in-game, like normal, on my normal mic. And then the second one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it where I've got a camera set up and you can see me doing the voices. So I want to show a scene that's going to be coming up in this episode. Episode's already been out. This is coming out after. So you can see it after if you want to go back and kind of relate to it. But yeah, it's a scene where Ross, Jerry, and George and Scroft are kind of basically at George's farm. So I just thought it'd be interesting to show that after. But first, just want to walk around and just show you the actual map. I mean, you can see that George's bank account's obviously really good, 20.5 million. That probably isn't his bank account in real life. Don't get me wrong, he's loaded. But yeah, it's just because of the fact I do so much. I kind of spawn in a lot of equipment, leased equipment. And I thought I'd show you some of that as well, because I've got storage areas for everything going on in there. For all that stuff. A lot of the edits, like it is a massively edited map now because of the fact that I've done so much. Yeah, it's insane really how much I've changed. Obviously putting in buildings like this for George's new sheds. They are actually already put in by Oxy on the map, so they're part of another section of the farm. It's how I built Jerry's farm, all from stuff that was already included into Court Farms, because I just wanted to kind of keep the same setting, the same vibe. So I just copied some of the sheds basically and buildings to make it feel the same. And I think I was pretty happy with how Jerry's farm turned out. But yeah, let's go in here. You've probably already seen the episode. Hopefully you had a good laugh. I did mess about with George because he put my bike in the tree. So I got him back by doing a few things, which is the first one is I put a load of goats in his garden, and Ross helped me get the goats. And I also bought a obviously big gnome. This is George, by the way. This is George's gnome. Took myself out of jail, and this is George's gnome. Put it in the garden with all the goats. What you probably don't notice is just using, you know, the animal pastures, the mod by Chisel, expandable pasture mod basically. So a lot of the stuff isn't up right now. So if I go into the general settings and turn on, you know, all this kind of stuff, you'll be able to see it. So I think the trigger's actually here. So I can obviously just put in some goats. I want to just put 15 rams in, and you can see they're over here quite happy. It's a brilliant mod, great for kind of role play the farmhand, how I've done that. Helped me out quite a bit for this storyline, just because I wanted to try it. And I did the same when I put ducks in his house, but this time we're not going to go in the house, we're actually outside. Yeah. Right, let's have a look upstairs, because the house itself, you know, I've done a few things to the house through GE. A lot of the stuff is GE heavy. That was a picture that was shared to me by an actual farmer and a fan of the channel on Facebook. It's a real-life picture of, I think it's his dad. I forgot his name, unfortunately, so apologies for that. But yeah, he shared it because it's obviously the Jubilee special that George's tractor, basically. He shared me a real-life photo of his dad. You can even see the pin marks where he's taking a picture of it, and I thought it was super cool, so I kind of added it into the series. And that's actually, you know, a real life situation from a fan of the channel and a fan of the series, and I've just said it's like Keith and George back in the day farming, so I had to put that in. You can see I put lights in this room. Now the reason I did that is when we were doing the Halloween special and another episode that was at night time, it was very dark in this room, so I had to try and illuminate the building a bit whilst inside. And the light is good, but it kind of just hits too far down on the ground, so like halfway up it's a bit dim. But yeah, I've kind of kept things as we've gone along. So this is the Seven Trent stuff. That's when George was getting his shed built, so I've kept that in. Obviously all the gnomes and stuff are set up the way they were. I moved the teacups and the donuts from over here onto the table, because, you know, it's quite a focal point to the series. Kettle as well is a focal point. I don't think I've done much in here, maybe a few little bits and bobs. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's all the same. Obviously, we've got a few things going on up here. If you look in this room now, the bedding will actually be different because the way it works in GE is like this is originally was Keith's room. He had these Thunderbirds bedding, but I put the John Deere bedding on to kind of just obviously prank George. The way I could do it, which is what I've done with the curtains in there, is I have to extract it and you know, export basically out of GE, change the texture, import it back in, and then it won't kind of have the same material type. So that's just going to stay like that until I go back to the other version of the map, because every time I do something like this, if it's let's say that I've done obviously this prank on George, I've made a copy version of the map to do all these edits on, so after the episode I can just revert back as long as there's no major changes. But yeah, look at this. Oh god, I still laugh at this now because I really have trolled him. He hates John Deere's because the history with it, if you've watched the series from start to end, of the Christmas episode just gone, you'll notice that George worked for a farmer called John. He had loads of John Deere's. He was miserable farmer. George didn't like him, and it was around the time when Susanna was pregnant, just before, unfortunately, you know, in the storyline she passed away with the child. And it was a fun episode, but also quite an episode that pulled at the heartstrings, which is what I was aiming for. But yeah, he hates John Deere's because he hated that farmer and hated working there, really, because it was just the farmer was miserable. So that's where his hatred for John Deere's comes from. It doesn't come from the fact he doesn't like John Deere's. It just doesn't like John Deere's because of this farmer. So he's always gone away from it. And you know, if you know the series well, George loves a Ford. So yeah, I trolled him. You could say I pranked him by putting all these John Deere posters up and changed his bedding and changed his curtain. So you can see that curtain there is different from that, and that's what I was on about with the bedding. I could have changed it, and I probably will do if I need to. Maybe if Keith lives back in the house, we can have his Thunderbirds on, and we can stick the John Deere's on for for George. But yeah, a lot of editing goes on in this. A lot of prep work for GE. It's needed. If it wasn't that, it wouldn't be as immersive. And yeah, that's yeah, like I said, it's important, and I enjoy doing it as well. I can find it's, you know, it allows me to be a bit more creative. But that's pretty much the house. I mean, there's a lot going on you can see in GE. If you looked at the base game map without obviously the mods that I've placed down and the new shed and everything, this is all a lot of GE work. A lot has changed, as you've probably seen along the way. I tried to do it where it was all in stages, so it was immersive as the build was happening, because you were following along, watching the build, especially with this new shed, everything being demolished step by step and then being rebuilt step by step. And I tried to do the same as well with the two sheds that have just been put up, because I think it is, you know, it's important if we can do that. It's obviously limitations of the game, but if you can do that, yeah, then I want to try and do that as much as I can. So yeah, let's have a look at this MA7 shed then. So I've had a lot of questions about this, and it is one that you have to purchase. Technically, it's not one like you purchase for a mod. You can get it downloaded, but then you purchase parts of it to put in to kind of complete it. It's pretty simple to go through. MA7's obviously really talented at what they do. The team, they've made some cracking maps, but I have done a bit of customizing on this through GE. Kind of made it look a bit more worn as time's gone on. I don't know if you've been noticing that in the series. It was quite shiny at the start. I've made this look a bit dirtier. I even put the textures in for the straw on there. You can see that one's flashing, so I didn't do that very well. But yeah, I put them down because I kind of just... Because obviously the straw, when you're putting it in here, if you've ever used it, just goes here. So that's where the texture of the straw bedding goes. Ideally, I'd like it to be in them kind of beds for the cows, but it doesn't go there, so I tried to put something in just to help that, make it look a bit more immersive. And then I put a few custom signs in. I even changed the colours of the rotary parlour because it comes with like a blue as standard, so I wanted to go with kind of like a green colour, and I put a few British farming signs up as well. So a lot of it is customised. I think, you know, I've customised so many things. I probably couldn't remember to show you everything. I've even got some IBCs at the moment that I've customised for the series, which are like UK fertilizer ones. You can see that I made that sign with AI and then added a few of these in after. Yeah, it's something I like doing. And you know, when we had the storm, all the buildings were damaged, that was got put back up. All that was customizing as well. So it's a heavy focus of mine. Let's have a look around here. There's using the animal pastures, we can have one horse in here. and then I've got 2 outside. They're connected to each other. So you've got obviously Beanie's horses that can actually link together. I probably should show you the map because I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it is a crazy map really now because I own quite a lot of stuff because it's there for the story. George, I'm even using precision farming, but obviously the harvest doesn't actually matter too much. None of the stuff like that matters in the story. You know, what we get in return, and I don't really focus on that. It's so story driven now that I don't mind what the harvest is as long as it looks realistic to me and I'm getting enough grain, for example, or enough OSR, which is what we're doing in this. But when I do the work, I do actually do it. So like I fertilized not long ago these fields in the last episode. So they're all ready, and I've got a job coming up in the episode that you've probably already watched, but this is pre-recording, where I've got 4 here that I'm going to be doing for Jerry. So I've planned it all out. I'll go through that in a minute when I go on to the next part of this video, so you can see how I do that. But yeah, this is kind of Keith's area. This is George's farm with the potato field, and then this is all Jerry's patch, and then up here now you've got Ross's area, and then that was Ross's old yard. Which he's obviously still owns. He's selling, but that's his original spot. And then I've got a few things like the vets up there, which hasn't really played a massive role anymore. And a few things along the way, like, you know, if we jump over to here, this is where Tim got busted, and I put in the dartboard with George's face on. And yeah, again, all this is custom. This isn't even in the map. The only thing that's on here, I think, is in fact, I don't even think that shed is. So I think I've placed all this stuff in for that scene with Tim, and I even place these down, and yeah, it's technically a working shed, so you could use it now, but that's not there. Police car is still parked up here because obviously it's not a focal point of the story right now. I do try and move all equipment around so it kind of looks refreshed, you know, so it's not all in the same spot. Have you ever seen that? But at the start of every episode, you'll notice Beanie's car's in a different spot, George's car's in a different spot. I'm trying to keep it kind of just, you know, you think that a few days have gone by or a week or whatever, and, you know, people move about, do things, they're busy, aren't they? So I do a lot of pre-thinking before I even started recording. It takes me a very long time to do the farmhand. In fact, I'm going to say it's on average of every episode's about 8 to 9 hours, probably more sometimes, because the videos have got a bit longer. So, you know, we're talking sometimes like 10, 11 hours to get it start to finish with all the prep work, setting up, then recording. Then I do my audio editing before I do my actual editing. And then I have to upload it. I watch it back before I set it live myself. So as it's uploading, in processing, I'm usually watching it back, making sure there's no problems. If there was a problem and I'd just stop the upload, I'd start again and have to delay the video. I only think that happened once, and it's because my game audio didn't record, so I had to manually edit it back in. It just made me do it longer, and it actually turned out pretty well. But I do like to always kind of vet it and make sure that it's okay. But yeah, I love the farmhand, and I'm glad everyone else does, but I thought I'd just give you a bit of behind the scenes to it. Just trying to think if we should go anywhere else. You got Tim's down there. Oh yeah, we definitely should have a look at this. This is my storage spot on the map that you probably don't notice, but it's got all the equipment in. So as we've been using this equipment throughout the thing, it's kind of like a prop. It's like a prop storage room or something. I don't know. All the contractor equipment's in here, so when we do the kind of contracting work for silage, that's in here. I've got a load of things down the line that I've used and so on. And yeah, they're just sitting in here. You can see there's another version of George's truck. That's my old truck. And yeah, I've got it all in here because it comes in handy, and I probably will need it at some point going into, you know, future episodes. And then if we run down to Jerry's farm, you can see this is all custom built. I did all this in GE, and it's a nice farm. It actually works really well. I mean, you could probably play on it in a save game, in single player or whatever, and use it as a farm. So yeah, I was pretty chuffed with this, because I even had to tilt some of the buildings. I tried to make some of them like this one kind of like look slanted, so it kind of bows in on that one. And I just wanted to make it look like a worn farm, because Jerry at the time was buying a second-hand farm. It wasn't brand new. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, I'd really highly recommend any PC player to get your grips with GE if you can, just the basics. You know, I'm nowhere near good enough to build a map or anything like that, but I can have a little play about and change some stuff up. And the more I've done, the easier it is to kind of do even more things. I'm lucky to have the help of Oxy as well, so if I have a question, I can just reach out to him, and he's always happy to help me out as well. So that's been really useful for me when it comes to customizing things like the John Deere prank that I've done on George, the wallpaper in that and stuff, and the curtains especially. I had to ask him about that because I wanted to kind of separate that curtain off from the rest, so that just them curtains were the John Deere style. And he helped me with that. Just dead simple message through Discord. So yeah, big shout out to Oxy, man. Be lost without him. And we have been talking, I said it before on a community post, we have been talking about FS25, and you're going to be super excited with what we've got planned. It is going to carry on into FS25, definitely. And who knows what map it'll be. I'm not saying anything, but I'm sure everyone will love it. So, I'm going to start recording in a second then, and there's a part in that I kind of seen in that I'll do a proper recording of me, so you can see me doing the voices, because it's me that does the voices of Jerry, Keith, George, and Ross, and obviously Scroft, because that's just my normal voice. And then I do some audio editing on all of them. So I put on a kind of like an accent for each character, but then after I kind of change I call it my audio editing basically. So I change the kind of tone of it, and that's the way I've always done it. It does all rely on the accent that I do for each character, which you'll see, and it is just me kind of spitballing. So improv, you could say, is the best probably word for it. I've got a book which I'll show you, not page by page because there's a lot of information there I don't want to give away, but I kind of bullet point what the episode's about, what I need it to do from start to finish, the story I'm telling in that single episode, and then I kind of improv in between. So the lines aren't decided; the lines are just on the spot, improv as I'm going. If I make a joke or George's wit, that's just me in the moment, kind of like getting lost in the series myself as I'm playing it. So hopefully you can see a bit of that in a second. I don't know if there's anything else I can show you. There's literally so much that I've obviously done. There's a load of editing. I don't think there is anything else. It's basically Court Farms with a few custom edits. That's pretty much the gist of it. I'll tell you one thing. I have to remove some collisions though, because it makes your life easier. Like this, I can actually walk through the actual all these fences up here. Apart from that, because I put the ones in for the pigs, but I can walk through all this stuff, and it just makes, like, when I'm doing my montages and I'm using, let's say I'm using the or drive or course play for whatever reason, I don't have to worry about them ever stopping and hitting things. So I do remove the collisions out of a lot of stuff, just because it's preemptive basically. I'm thinking ahead of what possibly could happen, and it's a good idea. It's a good idea. And then the cows are out, as you can see. I think this side's not actually. It's still got the collision on that one post, which I probably should sort out. There the cows are out. I'm using the expandable pastures mod. It's really useful because I can actually do like a walkway for the cows and everything as well. So coming out of here, it's even this I customized that. I put the Perry Engineering, which is a UK brand for a silo. It's not like America. We don't usually get massive silos. They use sheds most of the time, just sheds, and they don't store them for that long or dry them out or anything. It's usually just sold relatively quick after it's been harvested. But God, there is a lot of. If I could go back step by step and show everything that I've edited, I would do. But it's just not that simple. But it does feel like home to me now. Like, it's weird how this map feels like home, and on this actual save game, because you can see it's year 5, and there's a lot of faffing gone on, a lot of good storytelling. Hopefully, I know I've enjoyed it. But a lot of the time I kind of set the day, so when I'm putting at the start, you can see it says May Day 3 from episode 186, and that's because I'm actually in that day, so a lot goes on, and then I jump. I've kind of split each month up into 4 episodes basically, so 4 episodes is a month in game. But it's difficult to kind of be exact, so if that is actually a week that goes by, sometimes I have to do it like where the next episode was a day. It's strange, the timing of it, but because someone asked me a question like, what like time are you playing in game, like times 1, times 5? But it's not like that, because it's a story. So when I'm doing the farm, it might be on times 1, but then I might skip at times 5,000 to the next scene because it's a different time of day. So it might be the afternoon. So it really isn't like that. I just make sure it makes sense in the story of, if George says I'll meet you in 2 hours, it needs to be 2 hours. That's the way I kind of aim to do it when it comes to the time scale of me playing. But it is, yeah, it's nothing like a Let's Play, basically. It is just a load of props that I'm setting up my story, telling the story, and then I jump out, save the game, and then the next episode I obviously prep for and skip time to that point. So, yeah. Auto Drive and Course Player are a massive focus on it because I need the helping hand with a lot of the work that goes on. Right, so on that note, let's move on to the next part of the video, which is going to be me doing a crazy scene between George, Ross, Jerry, and Scroft. I'll show you a few little bits and bobs that I've got on hand as well. And yeah, I think that should hopefully give everyone then a good idea and behind the scenes of the farmhand. Hey everyone, Future Scroft here, recording on my DJI Pocket 2, I think it is. Probably only used this a couple of times, but it's going to be perfect for this. I've got my game in front of me. I'm like right to the end of the episode of recording now, so I'm at the last scene, which is where obviously I set up George, basically prank him and take him to the farm where Ross is waiting and Jerry are going to be waiting. So yeah, let's get into it. It's going to be pretty mental, to be honest. But I have got to do the voices of George, of Scroft, obviously, just like normal, but also Ross and Jerry. So you're going to get to see that as it's happened. The video, like I said, is out, the farmhand one already. This is just kind of, it's weird because I'm trying to record 2 videos at once, but yeah, I just wanted to put, I thought the best scene to do was when I was talking multiple times as different characters in one kind of scene. And hopefully it'll be pretty funny, hopefully, fingers crossed. So, before we do that, though, I just want to show you a few things at first hand. So I've got this book. This is my kind of Scroft farmhand, as you can see, book, just there. This has got each kind of like episode in. So it's a page, it's an episode each time. And yeah, I kind of work from that. So I've got like my page set up in it right now, where I've got everything bullet pointed from start to finish what I want to do, and I'll work my way through that. Over here, I've got one that I've already completed. So this whole book here is full of all episodes that have been done already. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to keep hold of that because it kind of like means a lot to me now. And this is another one, but it's called, I don't know if you can see that, but it says Scroft True Story. Now that one is all the big ideas that I have. So it could be like end goals and like the major storylines. So like George and Susanna, it's got the storyline of Scroft that we haven't obviously got into yet. There's a lot of future ideas, which is why I kind of know that the farmhand's going to go on for some time. Yeah, it's this one is pretty much where it all starts. So I start in this, jotting down ideas, got like a finalized section to it where I know they're going to be kind of where the story goes, the story arcs, and then my book that I've just shown you kind of gets break down into episodes. And that's pretty much how I plan it. I'm very old school, like to write down. You know, I could do it all on the computer, but I do think there's nothing better than having a pen in your hand and kind of writing down your ideas and going from that. And that's why I like a nice kind of leather coated book, because I spend so many hours doing the farmhand that you know, this is super cool. And to be honest, I got this as a Christmas present from my mum. So if you're watching, Mum, nice one. So I am recording this on Tuesday, and I thought I'd just show you that because I'm heading out to FarmCon on Thursday, and I'm going to be staying there Friday night, Saturday night, and coming back Sunday night. I bought some cards because I wanted to try, you know, if I see anyone. Also, I'll be taking these to things like Llama or anything in the future. But yeah, these are the cards that I've got. So you can just about see they've got like nice logo on the front, and then at the back, depending on anyone ever wants it, I've got like a section where I could sign it for people, QR code, and it basically says, it does say, thank you all so much for the support. So yeah, I just thought I'd show them off because they're pretty cool. So I'm going to take them with me. So if you are at FarmCon and you see me, I'll give you one of these if you want one. So yeah, pretty cool. Right, so I've got to try and forget that that's there now because completely new to this. I don't do vlog style anything. I do all gaming. It's all in game, you know, just talking audio style. The side of things is where I kind of go, and that's how I do my content basically. So this is new to me. So I've got to try and forget that's there so I can do this at the same standard. So just bear with me for a second whilst I kind of just set up something first. Just need to go and get Jerry's car for the story, and then we can get cracking. Right, so about to start, all set up for this final kind of scene section, which is probably going to be about, I don't know, it could be like 5-10 minutes, but it's a good chunk of the end of the episode. So I'm going to try and forget that you're there. This is just me kind of recording now this section of the farmhand. So yeah, Wish me luck. All right, buddy, you alright? Yeah, I'm alright, George, you? Ah, yeah, all sorted. How's it go, Keith? Alright, alright. That's right then, pal. Fair play. I don't know what he said. He said it went alright. Wasn't too bad in the end. Oh, that's good then. So you ready to head back then, George? Ah, why'd you look all strange? I aren't strange, George. Don't worry about that. All right then, right, yeah, all right then. Right, see you in a bit, Keith. If you need any an helping hand again, let me know. All right, well, I'll do. See you in a bit. See you in a bit, Keith. All right. Right, come on then, mate. I will do. Bloody hell, can't wait for a cuppa. Well, I can make you one if you want. Right, straight away, you sound a bit dodgy. Making me a cup of tea. What have you done? I've done nothing. Honestly, don't worry. All right then. Seem a bit dodgy. Oh, see, that's what happens when you mess about. So you can see the little bloopers. That's me. Let's move that back first. So you can see sometimes it does happen. Right, so that's not on anymore. I can jump in. Okay. All right then. Well, let's head off then. You ready? Ah, go on. How'd you get on with Jerry? Yeah, all right. Got the jobs done and yeah, sprayed his fields. It was 4 of them, 2 barley, 2 oats. Oh, what? Straightforward enough. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad that's done. But nothing worse waiting in hospital waiting times. It's a bloody nightmare nowadays. Yeah, but it was something good, isn't it? He's got to go. Oh, no, I'm not saying he hasn't, but I'd much rather be on the farm and sitting there waiting through that. Yeah, I'm probably agree with you there. I feel like I've had the better end of it. Well, that's it. That's it. So you've done nothing? I'm not saying anything. Right, well, that straight away looks like you've done something. You'll find out, George, but first thing I'm going to say is you bought this on yourself. I remember standing under that shed and you were telling me, whilst I was trying to get some shelter from the rain, that it's my fault. Oh, God. I do, yeah, fair play. But it's not the same. It is the same, George, right? This is your fault. You brought this on yourself, not me. Oh, God, what have you done? Just don't get too angry. Right, no, you can't do that to me. I clearly can, I have done. Oh, bloody hell, fire. Is that Jerry? Why the bloody hell's Batman here? Oh, well, you find everyone wants to come say hello to you, that's all. Oh, bloody hell, fire. Oh, God, I hope you haven't gone too far, Scroft. I'm not saying anything, but just, you know, you want to take a few deep breaths now, now's the time. And I'm gonna, you know, head off straight after. Right, I'll bloody kill you, I'm telling you. Get out of this car now and show me. Oh, that's it, tactical, aren't you? Leaving the bloody engine running. Alright, George, how's it going? Right, bugger off, Ross, because if this has anything to do with you, I'm going to bloody kill you as well. It ain't got nothing to do with me, I'm just here to say hello, that's all. What about you, Batman? Hey, what you doing? I'm doing nothing. I'm literally here because, you know, I was here for Scroft, that's all. Don't blame me. Don't start getting angry with me. Oh, they what I bloody think they are? Goats? What have I got goats in my garden for? Come on, George, I got some new animals for you. You think you're clever, don't you? Think you're clever? How many are there? Oh my God, there's goat poo everywhere. You're cleaning that up, Scroft. I ain't cleaning that up. Listen, your goats. Oh, they're not my goats. I've been up hospital. I didn't bloody order 12 goats when I got home. It's not bloody next day delivery. It's better. It's same day delivery, George. Oh, you're an absolute pain in the bloody backside. And Ross, I can see you smirking over there. What are you doing? I'm not doing anything. I'm trying my best to keep it in. It's just, I can't believe you got goats in your garden. You were in on this, aren't you, Ross? I on it. I on it. It's bloody Scroft, this is. Come have a look at this, George. Are they all right? What do you mean, are they all right? The goats. I know, but are they safe? They aren't going to hurt me, are they? Jesus Christ, you're not scared of goats as well. Ross is scared of goats, you know. Well, they do look a bit strange, don't they? Like almost evil. I mean, Christ. Why have you got weird eyes? And what the bloody hell is that thing? That's you. You're a massive gnome. What? A massive gnome?
Bloody hell, fire, Scroft. How much did that thing cost you? My God, it's bigger than the goat. Is that supposed to be me? Well, I just remember you putting your bloody gnome on top of that basket. Oh, and by the way, I've removed myself out of prison. Well, I don't care. I'll put you straight back in for this. You'll be not coming out anytime soon. Not after this bloody malarkey. But I'll be honest. A few goats in my garden isn't that bad. I thought you'd gone too far. It's not bad, is it? I can deal with this. But you're going to have to get them gone. I aren't. They're yours now, mate. Literally, 12 goats. Yours. No, that's not bloody fair. What am I supposed to do with 12 goats? Where am I going to put them? They've already gone home. Your garden. No, dinner happening. They're not staying there. They'll be alright there, George. Don't worry. Shut up, Ross. It's got nothing to do with you. You're just a bloody pester. Come here and have a laugh at my expense. I knew Batman's proud with you. I'm not saying anything. I've just thought I'd come and have a look at the goats. I thought it was like a petting zoo. Oh, petting zoo. You're all bloody off your head. You think I'm stupid. I shut the gate anyway. You should probably start doing that. And I wouldn't leave your front door open as well, George. Oh, why? Because I'll get goats in there. Right, one more thing, George. Oh, God. I know you told me never go in your room. If you've gone in my room, I swear down it might be the last ever thing you do on this earth. So count your lucky stars, Scroft, because I promise you. You've gone in my room? Maybe. Right. I'm having a look. Right, well, if that's the case, I'll hand you this camera, right? You have a go. I'm just going to go do something. No, you're not leaving me with that bloody camera. I am. There you go. What are you on about? No, don't head off, Scroft. You cheeky bugger. What are you doing? See ya. It's happened sometimes. See ya. See you, George. Right. I'll bloody kill him. And you, Ross, looking at me like that with that smile. If you know more than you're letting on, it'll be the last thing you do. And you, Batman, you can roll bugger off. Call yourself friends. Bloody hell, Jesus. If I was you, bloody hell, I'd go up, Batman, you best get off. I don't know, call bloody Batmobile or something. Right, I'm going. Oh my God, it's probably bad, isn't it? It's gotta be bad. Oh my God, if I don't want to see this. What's he bloody done to me room? I told him never go in that room. Right, well, the door should have been shut for dramatic effect, so I'm going to just quickly do that. Bloody hell. Alright, let's walk up the stairs again. I do like to leave my headset up a bit because I kind of like to hear myself and how loud I'm being. Whew, that Jerry's voice, though, destroys my throat. Right. I think it's time to have a cup of tea. Gotta have a brew. Big mug as well. Always needed when you're making a brew. Always. Right, so George is walking upstairs. Where was I? Right, what's gone on here? Oh my God, they've all bloody scarpered off. I told him never go in that room. I'll bloody kill him, I will. I don't care. I'll go down, I'll do the time, it'll be worth it. I don't want to open door. What's he done? Oh my God! Is that bloody John Deere? Right, Scroft, you're bloody dead. I tell you, you've taken it too far and I'll get my bloody own back for this, you clown. And he's done the curtains on the bloody bedding. Oh my God. Biggest fan. Technical decision. Read that wrong. I love John Deere. #1 technical John Deere decision maker. You bloody cheeky bugger. Right, where are you? Get here, you bloody muppet. Honestly, I'm glad you got an head start because you're going to bloody need it. Where are you? Right, run, bloody do one. I'm going. This is your fault, Scroft. Yeah. I'll bloody get him, I will. I'll get him for this. And that's where it'll end. Whew. So that's that. Oh my God. Yeah, it does nail my throat when I do Jerry. So I can transition between the characters and everything, but yeah, when I do Jerry's voice, like, oh yeah, bloody hell, I'm just scraping the inside of your throat when you talk. I'm Batman. That kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much how I do the voices in the Farmhand. So now I'll do some audio editing to make them sound the way you naturally the way you naturally hear them. But that's pretty much the gist of it. That is me doing the voices, and you got a good transition there from George and Keith, and then George, Scroft, Jerry, and Ross. Good old Ross. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed seeing a bit of a behind the scenes of how I do the farmhand. So really appreciate you watching. If you've got any ideas what you'd like me to do, just let me know, and I'll try my very best to show you some stuff. Like I said, the editing, the audio editing, I'm going to keep behind the scenes because I want to keep some of it, the mystery of it all kind of just still remain in some parts of it. But yeah, I really appreciate you watching this because it does mean a lot to me, the farmhand, and I know a lot of people enjoy it. And again, a massive thank you to everyone that enjoys it. It makes my day, and all these long hours and working hard to make it for you. It is all worth it, and many more times over. It really is. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give me a thumbs up because that does help my channel out. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you in a bit.
Bloody true story, that is, I'm telling you. True story.